Goodness me. My mate Pete had a horse at his funeral. You see, he'd served in the 2nd 14th Light Horse Regiment, the Queensland Mounted Infantry. The riderless horse holds a lot of symbolism. It's a strong military symbol that honours the fallen. It's been around for centuries, even going back to the Genghis Khan era. But back in those days, the horse was actually sacrificed so its spirit could accompany the dead into the afterlife. Welcome to Death Over Drinks. I'm Lisa Herbert. Today, my bevy of choice is Gentleman Jack, because that's what Pete enjoyed. When you look at the riderless horse, the boots in the stirrups are reversed so that the fallen soldier can see their family and the troops they served one last time. They also represent a warrior who can ride no more. In Peter's case, the horse was led in front of the hearse and coffin. Sometimes the horse is led behind the hearse. One of the most famous riderless horses was a magnificent horse called Blackjack. His good looks saved him from being discharged from the US military in his early days. He refused to be ridden. He constantly bucked off riders throughout his training. But he looked good and he had spirit. Blackjack was the riderless horse in more than 1,000 armed forces full honours funerals. He was naughty at all of them. He'd throw his head around, he'd stomp on the foot of the soldier who was trying to lead him. He got bored easily and he'd kick and he'd circle around. He was such a handful. After 30 years of military service, Blackjack retired in 1973. He died a few years later and he became only the second horse to be buried with full military honours. The other one was Comanche. Ritual and symbolism is so important in our lives and our deaths, whether it's a horse at a funeral, raising a glass, wearing black, having your golf clubs, at the altar at the funeral, or flowers on the casket. Everything has some sort of meaning to somebody. Peter had filled in his copy of the bottom drawer book and he requested his pallbearers take a shot of whiskey over his coffin, and take a shot they did. Of course, of Gentleman Jack. Cheers. Here's to you, Pete.